G'day, I'm Steve from Arapawa Kiwi, and this video I thought I'd show you how we make our traps and where we get them from. So I've just come back from Renwick Mens Shed and I've got a trailer load of traps here. And I'll unload them and I'll show you what I do with them. But first off, here's what happened this morning down at the Mens Shed. I'm down at Renwick Mens Shed. This is Dave, the organiser of Renwick Mens Shed. They've just got a whole lot of traps for me, about 50 of them there. And these are all the boys doing other jobs down here.
Tall copy signboards for them.
They're just finishing one of my trap boxes in there.
Yeah. These parts here for parts here for the children. We do the 8-year-old schoolboys on Friday morning for woodwork. So we have about 6 to 8 boys come down from the local primary school who make up their own toys and paint them and such. And this is the one for their final one for Christmas, which will be a toolbox for them. Right there, the tools. And that's it. Over here we've got wheelbarrows that we make up. Handles and stuff go on them, so they're used for garden wheelbarrows. Or sometimes children have them for wheeling around their yards, so prime those up and paint all those up. Just done some bird boxes for this for New Somerset Village home. So they got an inundated with starlings down there, so they want some starling nesting boxes. We've got a Schweitzer spoon to be made up for a local rugby club, which is there's a timber there clamped up at the moment, so they'll be cut out of that. Cheese boards and bread boards there made up. Anything that goes on that people bring through the door.
How often are you down here, you guys?
We're here on Tuesdays 8:30 till 2 p.m. and on Fridays 8:30 till 12, which incorporates the school boys. At 9:15 they get here for an hour and a half for school.
Yeah. And how many guys do you have down here normally?
Our membership's 19. We usually have about 16 regulars, just depending on people away on holiday or whatever. There's tension going on here at the moment. So this has become our new main entrance. To be water off across here. This side is the dust extraction room. This side for our PPE gear and boys' coats. Another doorway to go into here into that shed.
Yeah.
So that's that machinery shed. Keep all the noise in one area. Everyone's signed off on their equipment before they're allowed to use it. It's the safety side of it. And we have an office we have use of. Just there, the first box is our office. Memorial garden that we've installed. We lost one of our sheddy mates January this year. Saw that when I was in Australia, quite a few of the men's sheds over there, the memorial garden. I thought it was a great idea, so we done that here, and hopefully we don't have too many signs on it, but it's just good to remember our mates as we come to the shed. Something along those lines.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing these strips for us. Hopefully more next year.
Great.
first stage of assembling the traps is painting them. So we've got to use a stencil on top, and we paint them, project name Arapawa Kiwi, and don't touch because they're dangerous. So that's the first stage of assembling these traps. So as you can see, they're all painted here. Didn't come up too bad, I didn't spill too many drops, and it's readable. That's what we're after. There's a pile of them there. This is a small batch of 50 traps I've got. It's the last of the funding I was able to get for this year. And these traps cost about just over $100 fully assembled. So there's the box plus the trap mechanism inside, which I'm about to put in now. So this was a grant that we got in July. It's now December. We applied for the grant probably back in March or April, and then we got it in July. Then we went to Renwick Mens Shed, who was one of our suppliers, and they then had to order the timber and all the materials, and then they had to wait for it to arrive, then they had to build them, and so now it's the beginning of December and I've finally got the traps, so I'll work on them this week and they'll start going out to the island later on this week. So I'll show you how I do the final assembly of the trap and just check it and sort of do a whole quality inspection of it. So I'll grab a trap. So this is just the box as we received them this morning. If I open it up, you can see this, just tilt this down, you can see there's no trap mechanism in here. It's got the ramps all put in, and I'll explain that a bit later why they're there for. But I'll now go and put the trap mechanism in and just check it. So I look at the quality of it first, just checking a few things that this wire netting is down here so the stoats can fit through. I noticed on this one they're just a bit sharp down here, and often we're putting our hands here. So I'll just tap those and just clean those up. I've ended up with a lot of scratches on my hands for that, so I'll just check the other end. That's all good. So I grab a trap mechanism. This is a Dock 150 trap mechanism. We're using those. They're just easier, they're cheaper, but it's easier to buy the timber for them because the timber is only 250 wide by 25 mil, and that's a lot easier to source than the timber you need for a Dock 200. A lot of people prefer the Dock 200s, they're a better mechanism, but we've had reasonable success or good success out of these Dock 150s. Well, we use these because we can get the timber, and with these we can get more traps for our dollar. So screw it in. I just make sure the trap is behind the edge of the two ramps there. I use that piece of wood as a guide, like that. And I'm just adjusting the sear or the trigger weight just by knocking down the sear slightly. These things come at around 150 or more grams trigger weight, and we like it to be a bit further down, close to 110, 115. 100 grams, somewhere around there. So I'm checking it. This bolt is 115 grams. And that's about how we like it. If it's too light, we catch a lot of mice. Mice are down around 30 grams. Kiori, or the Polynesian rat, are around about 60 to 70 grams. We try not to catch those because you end up just with a rat in your trap. And our target is stoats. So stoats are heavier, they're around 200 to 400 grams. So setting it at about 100 is ideal. That means the stoat is most of the way across the trap and before it triggers. And then what we're finding is the stoats across here and the trap comes down and catches them good. It doesn't give them time to get out. If you have them too light, a stoat will get into about here and you'll see it coming down and it'll just pull out. And it's better that they fully committed to the trap before it triggers. That's our theory anyway, and we'll stick with it. So after I've done that, I'll then put a cable tie on. The reason we use cable ties is a lot of these traps are on roads or tracks that people go down reasonably often. We formally check the traps every month, check their baits and so on. But if we're going down a track past a whole our traps, with the cable tie you can see if it's triggered. Otherwise that trap will be left for a month even though it's had a stoat in for 3 weeks or something like that. So that's the reason we use cable tie. It's just a very quick visual indication. You can look at it as you drive past or walking past or whatever. So we know we've checked the trigger weights, we've checked the quality of it, it all looks good. So then I'll set it again, take the safety catch off and actually set it like we set it in the field, although I'm not putting bait in it. I don't know whether you can see up the back there is a screw that we put bait opposite where the trap comes down so it doesn't get caught by the trap. So I put the cable tie through, I just gently tug it as I lower this down. I've then got a piece of water pipe that's a bit soft. I poke it in the trap and make sure the trap goes off. That way we're checking that all the clearances inside against the pieces of wood and so on allow the trap to trigger. So that's a trap done. And I can get that done in 2 or 3 minutes, just assembling. That one took a bit longer. So I'll give you an idea of the trap itself. So it's a Dock 150 run-through trap. It was designed by the people down at Lake Rosawiti in the Nelson Lakes for the area, but we've modified it a little bit from them. So the basic idea is when a stoat looks through, it's nice and free. It doesn't see any major barriers or anything to get through, and it doesn't look dangerous. So when it runs along that floor there, it's all nice and level and doesn't see a danger. The original design only had a couple of number 8 wires, horizontals there, but we have weka, which are, we don't want to catch weka. Okay, so we have to have a 50mm grill at each end just to prevent the weka poking their noses, the heads in, and also the length is a lot longer for the weka, just to prevent the weka going in. The other beauty of the run-through trap, I'll just open it up, so I have to be careful that's set. I put a screw in there that we put bait, we either put a raise in there or mustard lid and cat lure in there. But these traps also work very well with no bait, because the stoats are interested in running through. With the traps being able to catch stoats without having any bait in there, that's great because often the mice will get in and eat the bait anyway. It still means the trap is effective even after the mice or the rats have eaten the bait. We use single sets. We know that double sets catch more stoats, but in terms of number of traps for a certain amount of money, we can catch more stoats with single sets traps than double set because we have more traps out there. So that's it, a quick overview of how we put our traps together. This lot are now ready to go out and be installed on the island.